Hey guys, this is Callie Bonds, and I'm gonna kind of walk you through my paper engineering and electricity product. So for my final project, I use these two foundational shapes from that YouTube channel. This is the parallel cut, which is the square cutout, and that serves as the base of the flower in my card. And then I used the type 2 flower, which is the orange flower over there on the right. Here's some more examples of parallel cuts, and the video plays kind of choppy. I don't really know why it's doing that, but so I cut out, you can kind of see where I cut out the square shape behind the bear and the trees, and depending on what objects you're putting on those squares, if you cut them out different sizes, they'll appear in front of each other, so you can kind of see that the bear is in front of the trees on that one. So that means that the bear cutout was a deeper parallel cut than the trees. That way the bear could be in front of the trees. And then this one down here has some plants, and all of those parallel cuts were the same size. And you can kind of see that from this angle right here. But that way all those plants were just in a perfect little line together. And then you can see that I added another card to the outside of it, so I didn't show where the paper was cut, and I did that on my final project too. So my assignment is to make a Mother's Day card with a flower in the middle, as you could kind of see in those first couple slides, and I connected it to science with kindergarten and first grade standards. So you can kind of see here, this first standard that I have listed, use observations to describe patterns of what plants and animals need to survive. So what we'll do as a class is we'll have each child grow an individual flower and kind of describe the patterns of what they need, how they need sunlight, how they need water. And then after that unit's wrapped up, it'll be around Mother's Day. And so the kids will make this card to take home to their mother with a flower in it along with the actual flower that they grew in class. And that's kind of where the second standard comes in, is with the actual card, with a sketch or a drawing, illustrate the shape of an object and how it helps function. So that's kind of where they can sketch out their plan for the card, how like the parallel cut would maybe solve the problem of making a pop-up card. And then if you wanted to stretch it to a first grade standard, that last one kind of gives you a first grade standard, and that really brings in your light and your sound. So if you wanted to minimize the card, you could maybe in a kindergarten class not require it to have light, but then here in a first grade, if you wanted it to have light, then you can communicate using the light with the card. So it can kind of go with whatever you want. And the first grade also had simple standards with plants that were very similar to the kindergarten one, so I didn't list them here, but you could tie that same science plant standard into a first grade class. So a real life connection for this project, what I'm using it for is for a Mother's Day card. So I made, and you'll see at the end, but I made a pop-up Mother's Day card with a light in it, and so that's my realistic connection, is I'm going to give it to my mom on Mother's Day. I've also seen ideas where you could do a Christmas card and make Rudolph's nose light up. I saw a Father's Day card where a lightsaber lit up when you opened the card. If your dad's a Star Wars fan, a pop-up book, that could be great for kids. Or I also saw these cute, it was almost like origami, the way these boxes had been folded out of paper, and you could put a gift inside the box that you make, a pop-up box or something, so just as a present for a friend or something, a birthday present. So this is kind of the technical side of my card. So as you can see in that top picture, that's just the picture of the circuit that I did. It uses a simple circuit made out of the positive and negative wires, the red and the black wires, 2 brads, a battery, and then tin foil that functions as the switch. So the circuit is hidden on the back of the card, and so there's another purple page wrapped around the outside to cover up the ugly parts, all the wires and things, so you can't see those. And then the green stem that you can see in the bottom covers up the foil that connects the 2 brads together, and you can see there that's the functionality of the card. When I press the press here on the vase, that's what makes the light up. You can kind of see right here behind the vase is where I have the brads and the tin foil and everything connected. And so when you press the press here button, it connects the tin foil to the brad that turns the light on and completes the circuit. So that's the switch. So this is a picture or a video of the final product. I hand wrote the words on the card instead of printing them or doing them with a fancy machine, because I wanted to show students that it doesn't have to be professional, that it can be handwritten, and that, you know, your mom will love it if it's written by you. I put a cute little saying over there with a little pun about growing love because it's a flower. And then I added just some fun little stickers. I'll play it again just to give another quick tape of it. But the students can decorate it with stickers or those little shapes I just cut out of paper. And so I could pass those out to my kids to put on there. There's some glitter in the middle of the flower. But yeah, that's my final Mother's Day card. While I did say that the standards for the content were for kindergarten and first grade, the actual card I honestly think is more of a high school level assignment. I had a lot of trouble figuring out how to make it pop up and light up. I think if it were to be a separate light up and paper engineering activity, if those two assignments had been separated, it would have been a lot easier and could easily be made for younger grades. But I think combining them made it a lot harder to make one coherent product that did both, instead of making, you know, one product a paper engineering product and one product a electricity product. And I think it would be very overwhelming to present this as an assignment to kids, especially if it was done over, you know, Zoom, if this emergency were to happen again when I was a teacher. But I do think that the best way to connect this to content would be to make it about the flower. You could also do a literacy content connection, which that could be more applicable to older grades, but since I'll just be certified K6, I just really don't see that this project could fit anywhere in those grades. I definitely think it's an upper level, almost even high school assignment to combine it. But again, if it was simplified, and I think it could definitely be made to fit those younger grades. So yeah, that is my final product for my paper engineering and electricity product.